Hola amigos, welcome to another episode of Hoy and Tomorrow. We are your hosts, Veronica Estrada.
Maribel Serrano, hello.
Hello. So today we wanted to talk about something that it's going to be busy season with holiday season coming up and a lot of events.
Yes.
A lot of networking events, a lot of holiday parties and all that good stuff. And we're both of us are really good at networking. We love networking. We're naturally extroverts, but since we've been doing it for so long, we wanted to share some of our key tips, tricks, and do's and don'ts for networking.
Yes, and meeting people and making meaningful connections and how to take that relationship to the next level, meaning professional relationship, social relationship, and building your network and making it just something that's part of your life and that's something that's aligned with your values and the things that you enjoy in life. So we love networking, both of us. So we figure, let's take what we know and share it with everybody because, like Veronica said, it's the holidays, it's busy socializing season, and you want to make sure that you're doing it right and that you're building a strong network and that you're being authentic.
Yes, and that you're not getting burnt out and that you're not overdoing it on the liquid courage at the events. And, so we wanted to just share some of the tactics that we've learned, and I think we'd love to also hear your questions and what scenarios do you need help with or have you encountered that you want to be better at and maybe save face for the next event. So definitely let us know in the comments or on our social media. We're happy to answer questions and have a follow-up episode on networking.
Yes, and there are 3 key components to networking that are first meet and greet, and then following up, and then decompressing that we're going to talk about. So we can start off with meeting. Before you go to an event is finding an event that you want to go to, that you feel like it's going to be a place for you. The people that are going to be there are people that you want to associate with. Maybe it has to do with your business, your job, or socially. It's something that you all kind of have a passion for. So being aware of who your audience is when you're going to an event.
Yeah, and for me, when I go to events, what I started doing towards, I don't want to say the end of my corporate career, but when I was going to a lot of events and I had a strategy around it, I would set a goal for myself, especially depending on the type of event that it was. I'd want to meet either an accountant, a CPA, a CFO, or a CEO. And then once I got those business cards or those connections, I would, allow myself to go home instead of just letting this event drag on and trying to get as many business cards as I can. I really was tactical about the time I spent at the events.
Yeah, and once you decide to go to an event, you want to make sure that it's something that you researched, it's aligned with something you're doing, you know what kind of people are going to be there, because that can make all the difference. You can't expect to go to an event where the audience, the people that are there, are very far from what you have going on, and then there's no connection. Then obviously it's because they're not aligned.
Right.
So once you have an event, you want to go to it, you can be there, be present in a way that you are confident, you can be yourself, you're not too nervous, you're not wondering what you're doing there, and then that'll just clear up the whole room for you to just do what you're there to do.
Yeah, and I think another secret weapon that we were talking about off camera was smiling. Like when you smile at other people, it helps them relax, it helps them see you as approachable, and it's always like a good little trick that I use instead of just like looking down at my phone or looking at my plate of food or looking at my wine. It's always just really nice to smile, be inviting, and just like relax your shoulders. And
body language is definitely important. Like, don't be crossing your arms, just relax and be approachable and smile and just be a friendly face. And when you feel it, I think it projects and people can tell. And just go up to people. I mean, everyone's personality is different. For me, it's always been easy to just go up to someone and just say like, hey, so how did you hear about this event? Like that opener that's not so direct, like, so what do you do? Because I think that's a very common thing. Like, everybody wants to know, what do you do? But that's too direct. It's almost like you're trying to get something versus just having a casual conversation. And one thing you have in common is you're both there. So
so an easy way to start a conversation with someone, I'll just say, hi, I'm Veronica. I don't think we've met.
Oh, hi, Maribel. Nice to meet you.
Great to meet you.
You too. How did you hear about the event?
Well, my boss told me about it and kind of sort of required me to come. What about you?
Yeah, no, I heard about it through a friend because I work at this nonprofit, and so I know my friend through work, and so that's how I ended up here.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I go to a lot of, networking events. What about you? Is this one of the better ones? Have you been to this one before?
I've been to other ones kind of like this, but I love networking events too. It's kind of part of my job, but I also just love meeting new people, and I'm always being creative and working on different things. So it's fun, I really enjoy being social and getting out of my comfort zone, things like that. Yeah. Where do you live?
Yeah. So you see what keeps the networking going and makes it easier is asking questions. Like, you want to be interested in that person, and you definitely want to avoid doing the thing where you're meeting someone and then you're like looking over their shoulder and it's like, did they just put new food out? Like, do I know that person over there? Like, when you're meeting someone, a great, trick of the trade is just stay focused on them, make eye contact, hold the eye contact, and smile and listen genuinely. And another easy thing to do if you see someone, somebody wearing a cool tie or somebody wearing a really great dress, giving them a genuine compliment is also an easy icebreaker where you're like, I love that dress, where did you get it? Or just find something in common that you have.
Yeah, and if it doesn't pop up right away, in the conversation, you will hear a term or something they did that you can connect. It's really getting into the mindset of making connections.
Yeah.
Even with two things that seem completely unrelatable, is finding the connection between them and then making that the commonality.
Yeah.
So
even and I love that you asked me, where do you live? Especially in LA or any metropolitan city or even a small town, I guess. It'd be easy to say, oh, where do you live? What neighborhood? Like, how long did it take you to get here? Because I know I used to go to some events like in Orange County that would take me an hour and a half to get there. And then you go to the event and you meet someone who's also from Culver City or who also drove forever, or somebody who's 5 minutes away. And it's more fun just talking about the easy stuff like traffic, and then, so ideally who are you looking to meet here? What are you working on right now that's exciting at work?
yeah, that's great. Asking so who are you looking to meet here? Because it's a very direct question, and you're not directly saying you and I are going to have this great connection, but you are opening up that space of so who are you looking to meet? Oh, I want to meet people that are in my same industry or creatives, or it allows you to also for you to become present of who you want to meet as well.
And when you ask, who they're trying to meet or what types of people they're trying to connect with, it also helps you explain what your job or your role is or your business is in the context of why they're there.
Yeah.
So being present to what they're looking for, what they need, and then sort of talking about yourself in that context is going to definitely make it a smoother, easier conversation.
Yeah, and when you're talking about what you do, try to find a way to describe what you do rather than just give a title. I'm the, associate president or whatever the title is. It's I help small businesses grow or find access to capital or whatever it is. Find that description of what you actually do.
That relates back to the event type.
If you're very advanced and you're at the point where you're just I just really just want to get to the point. I had a mentor who was a great networker, and he would just go up to someone and just give him a card immediately.
When he said his name and stuff?
He would be like, hi, my name is, let's just say Fred. My name is Fred, and here's my card. And it was just very straightforward. But it was very friendly, too. It was almost like this mutual understanding that we're all here to network, so here's my card, you know? And the other person would... And then I started doing that for a while, too, and it was so easy. Of course. People are also there to meet other people. So it's not... When you get out of your own head and you realize everyone's here to meet others, it makes it easier because then you realize it's a teamwork.
That's so true. And speaking of the business card strategy, another great way to be prepared is to have your business cards either in your jacket pocket where that's the only thing that's in there, so you're not pulling out gum wrappers or anything that's weird. You just want to have your cards easily accessible, so if you're having a great conversation, you don't have to break eye contact to dig through your purse and find the business cards, which happened to me many times. And then another trick, if you're wearing a dress or something that doesn't have pockets, you can also put your business cards on the name badge, in the plastic on the other side, so that when you're talking to someone, again, it's really convenient, really easy. And you can also put their card in there, after you look at it, because that's another thing that you want to be mindful of.
You can look at
acknowledging
it,
the card, looking at it, and
writing
then
notes even. Sometimes like writing a note or something
Yeah.
that reminds you of them or how you met them. So
Yeah.
having a pen handy.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the follow-up is important too. So the follow-up looks like you separate the cards of the people that really resonated with you and write to them the next day. Like,
Yeah.
don't wait a couple days. Make the connection right away. Hey, it was really nice to meet you at this event. I wanted to see if you wanted to go grab coffee, or
Yeah.
depending on what connection you foresaw in meeting them, making like immediate connection
Yeah,
via
like
email.
sometimes I would add people on LinkedIn like in the car before I went home, because that way I remembered their face, I remembered a lot of detail, and then I could add them on LinkedIn and send them a little note and say, so great meeting you, let's reconnect, this is my business email. And also sometimes people run out of cards, so like if you ask them, are you on LinkedIn, are you on social, like finding them that way, and then making sure that you follow up with them the day after, that way you don't let too much time pass.
Yeah. And another thing we were talking about behind camera is how using networking events as follow-up events too. So if
yeah.
I were to meet Veronica at a networking event, I can follow up with her tomorrow and say, hey, there's this event similar to the one where I met you on this day. I would love for you to come with me, because networking events are great opportunities to bond with the connections that you're making, like your fresh connections.
Yeah.
'Cause you're kind of meeting other people together. You're introducing people to each other, to your network as well.
Yeah.
And so then you start seeing the commonalities and the mutual connections you have, and it just kind of strengthens that bond.
Yeah, and I love the buddy system, especially when I was newer in corporate, where I would be the person that would go and strike up conversations, and I'd have one of my other partners with me who was maybe more of an introvert or maybe more of a specialist in certain things. So the buddy system when you're at networking events is also really, really great.
And people have different ways of networking. Like I said, our personalities are different. You and I happen to be extroverts, and for me it's really easy to just go up to someone and be like, hey, what's going on? I'm Maribel, and for other people, like, so get to know what kind of networker you are. What are you comfortable with? And practice, like role play like we just did with your friends or on camera.
Yeah.
Just kind of get comfortable with yourself, because it really is mostly about you feeling comfortable with yourself, you feeling like, how can I be a contribution to the people that are here? Ultimately, the point is to come together and create new things with new people.
Right, exactly. Yeah. I love that. Yeah.
And
so
then we have the decompressing.
Yes, that's huge.
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about that?
Well, yeah, so like we said earlier, we love events and we like to be social. I feel like after a few hours of that, though, I really just feel very drained and I just want to go home. Like, I just don't want to talk to people. Like, I don't even feel like saying bye to people. I get into this mode of like, I really just need to recuperate. I need to relax. I need to like meditate.
I need to be in my own space again.
Yeah,
like, I don't want to be wearing this jacket. I remember just being like done. At some point, I would just be like, I want to get out of here.
Yeah.
So honor your boundaries. And once you get home, don't get on your phone. Don't go back to working. Just like take some deep breaths. It's normal to feel like a little bit frazzled or overwhelmed after, because it is draining. It is a lot of energy that we're expanding.
A lot of sound, people talking all around you.
Yeah.
Like,
and if it's after a work day, then you already worked all day. You probably woke up early and now you're at this event, and it's like, it's a whole thing. So don't feel bad and respect your own boundaries and take care of yourself after, and be proud of yourself for going out there and doing it, and always see what went really well and what was suboptimal and how can I improve next time.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean that you don't like people if you're feeling like that. If you're feeling claustrophobic or like you're ready to go home, it doesn't mean don't give up on growing your network. Just keep practicing and know that it's okay and normal to feel a little frazzled at the end, and just take a break. And if you don't want to say bye to people, that's okay too. Just,
that's the Irish exit.
Walk out the door.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, just, again, the most important thing is to take care of yourself, build your network, create something that's going to be vibrant for everyone.
Yeah, I love it. So again, thank you so much for tuning in to Hoy and Tomorrow. We would love to hear what tips or tricks you have, or any scenarios that you'd love some advice on. We're happy to be of service. And thank you so much for sharing this episode with your network. We really appreciate it.
Thank you all so much for tuning in, and tune in for the next one.